Hey guys! So this video is going to be a bit of a bit of a little walkthrough, I guess, or story time about some of the things that I first started to do once I came out, and even when I came out to a few people, but I was still really trying to figure out like who I was. So I'm gonna talk about like things that ended up making me feel really happy, and then other things that were really difficult going into it. The first thing is going to be shopping. So, I, the first time I went out shopping in general, I was very self conscious on how I looked for the first probably 10-15 minutes. I think the second I walked into the door of the mall that I went to, I was really nervous. But after that time passed by, it got a lot easier for me, and I stopped paying attention to things and I stopped overreacting because it started to just feel comfortable and normal, and I didn't feel as like paranoid anymore about people like staring at me. Um I will say that the first a couple things like outfit wise, the first things I got on Amazon. I know that there are a few people in the transgender community, at least that I know of, that have done the same thing where they're trying to get like an outfit to go out and get more outfits, and that way they can kind of draw less attention. And so I ended up doing that. I got myself like kind of a nice outfit. I didn't want to go too strong on it just cuz I was very self-conscious. So so yeah, that was really rough, but it got a lot better very quickly. And it was really fun picking out like outfits and shirts and dresses that I enjoy wearing. So shopping overall is like a really hard step, or at least it was for me. But it ends up like now it's like one of my favorite things to do. Like I'm so happy whenever I get to go out and I get to go like look at stores and stuff like that. It's very fun. It's very nice. Um, I still sort of get anxiety when I'm out, but it's goes away a lot quicker. And it's for the same reason. I just get kind of scared that people are like looking at me and like I guess judging me. But then I've gotten to a point where I'm just kind of like, it's okay. Like I'm happy. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just being myself. And so people can look, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to take the hat off. So, okay, there. So my hat was starting to itch. So, um yeah, so shopping was really cool, and it still is like one of my favorite things. The next thing is telling like close friends. So I ended up telling the first person I came out to was very, very unusual. I didn't really know this person that well, but what I did know of this person, I knew they weren't overly judgmental, and it just kind of like came out where like we weren't even talking about it. Like we were talking about something random, and I just came out. I guess I just wanted to tell someone. And yeah, after that I told a couple people. Sometimes those conversations took very, very long, and they were very difficult on me. My I told I was in a car, or I was in my car trying to tell one of my friends, and I think I was on the phone with her for like 10 minutes in straight silence, like trying to find a roundabout way of saying it. But she wasn't like getting what I was saying, and then eventually I was like, okay, I'm transgender. And she's like, oh, okay, like, all right. And I was like, wait, really? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. Like, thank you for not freaking out on me. So like it's so hard trying to do that, trying to take that step on like talking to people that you really care about. And the more you like value that person's opinion of you, like however close they are, really close family, friends, really really close friends, those opinions are going to be the ones that matter the most to you. So if you're friends with somebody who's transgender and you're watching this, take the time to try to be like really supportive and check with them and make sure that they're doing okay, because that means a lot. A lot of times when you are in that situation, it is very nerve-wracking. It's really nervous. Like, it's a really nervous situation. And like I mean, it's kind of just one of those things where you have to kind of take each situation as it is if you're the one kind of telling everyone. I had like several different ways of telling different people. Some people I just straight up was like, look, I'm trans. Other people I was like, should I tell them today? No, I'm not going to say shit. Should I tell them today? No, I'm not going to say shit. Should I tell them today? No, I'm not going to say shit. Like, it kept getting put off. And when I finally did it, I felt a lot better. But definitely before I did it, I was freaking out in a lot of cases. And that's like the last step, and that's easily the hardest thing as far as your early times with like everything. I guess the other thing that would be hard is finding a good doctor. So I have the fortune of being close enough to a really good center for trans patients, and they are willing to do my physicals there. They're willing to, I have lab work. There's a pharmacy by them that is trans friendly, so all the pharmaceutical workers, nobody's like giving you weird looks or anything like that. No one's looking at you like, I don't know. And I can say that honestly, it was really cool, because when I first got my prescription, the worker there, the prescription had my legal name, my birth name. It had Alyce, the name I go by, and then it had my last name. And she was like, I'm just going to take out that legal first name because this is your name. Is that okay with you? And I was like, yes, that's actually incredibly nice of you. Thank you. Like, that's really sweet. Like, thank you so much. That made me feel really, really good. And, I know for some people, getting that medication and getting that help is kind of difficult. So I would chalk this kind of up there as one of the harder things to figure out. But once you figure out a place that's got good reputation, good doctors, and they're really willing to work with you, you're in a good spot. Obviously having a therapist recommend you everything is going to be the smoothest way to get into anything. Most doctors, they ask if you're doing therapy. They want to make sure that you're okay. Before you do any kind of medication, there has to be a letter by somebody who has seen you for therapy, and that therapist has to do a test on you and make sure that you're okay, like emotionally you're okay, and you kind of go from there. So as far as all that stuff goes, it does get really tricky. But again, it requires a little bit of research and just setting stuff up, just having that sense of planning really helps you. It definitely is a lot more planning than the other two things I've mentioned as far as shopping or coming out, because you really have to do your research on picking the best place for you. I know for me, I love the place that I go to. for everything. I love how open they are. I love how supportive they are. They work with me on things. I don't have insurance, and this place is willing to work with me for I'm actually under a plan with them for a little bit that gives me my lab fees are covered, and I get reduced like payments on my visits. So it's actually really, really nice. I can say if I didn't have that, I would be a lot more stressed out, financially speaking. And I'm already sort of stressed out, financially speaking, but that's because of other things. And, like, trying to set plans up for surgery and everything like that. So, like, I'm financially stressed out about, like, months down the line. But I'm trying to work with that as it comes. Let's see. So that was a really hard one. So I just did two really hard ones. So let's kind of go for another fun one as far as like things to talk about. The friends that are just super, super like supportive, where they just talk with you how you prefer. And that's awesome because there are some people that I didn't really talk to that much about too many things, but then I came out and then they're like, oh, hey, like, look at this makeup, or, oh, like, let me give you, like, advice on makeup, and let me help you with that, and I was like, oh my god, thank you, like, I want to get better at this, like, help me get better at this, and I had a lot of cases like that, where I was really trying to figure stuff out, and I also was trying to find a good amount of makeup that made me feel comfortable working at the same time as not being too much, because I sometimes I would have to get very physical at my job, and then I would start sweating, and makeup and sweat don't do very well unless like you have good products for that. So that was really fun, was having those friends that helped you with makeup, and like it just felt natural. It was one of the first times where I've talked to somebody and it felt like I was getting something back that I missed from growing up, and that was really nice. So yeah, talking with people about stuff that you normally may not have talked about with, like everyone kind of talks about different stuff. Like I still have my friends that I talk about video games with, and that's kind of the same. Like that doesn't change at all. Video games are still video games. They're still fun. But as far as like being open about makeup and everything like that, I was super reserved about ever talking about that kind of stuff. So being able to do it now is really nice, and I always get really excited when I like maybe I figure out something different to do with like eyeshadow or eyeliner, and I'm like, hey, like look at my eyes, like look, don't I look good? And so that's really cool, and I like that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about a few things as far as like some of those the first like baby steps that you're doing when you're beginning everything. I know a lot of people that I talk to, and I also agree with it, with saying that the beginning stages of transitioning are very hard, and these 4 things are some of those things that make it harder. These were just 4 things that kind of came off my head, and I was just kind of wanting to talk about them. So, thank you so much, and you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.